You're on.
I'd like to call this meeting to order, starting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have our agenda in front of us, and the first action is to approve it, modify it, change it, whatever you see fit. Is there any additions or modification?
I'll make a motion to approve as is.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor? Public comments.
That'd be us.
Thank you, public. Does anybody want to comment?
GQ Public back there.
We see no one wishing to comment. Next item up is the minutes from 4/1/24. Did you include those? No, I missed them.
There were 6 pages long.
Because I only had, I know 5 documents, but maybe I missed them.
You want to table it?
Did you guys read them?
I think I read them. They were on the side. I think I read them, yeah, for sure I did.
Mine was looking at the email.
We can table it for next meeting. I mean, then it's not that important.
I just gotta find them, because I thought.
I'll
I just seen
resend
them
it.
in the
Make sure
packet.
Yeah,
you
we
see it.
I think I read them, yeah.
You guys call it. If you read them, we can pass them.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion to approve the minutes from 4/1/24. We have a second.
Yes.
We have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Minutes approved. Tara Lucas,
There, or can I just talk from here?
come up here so we can get you involved.
Minutes.
Everybody always is curious as to
You can go right here.
who's speaking. Anywhere the camera will pick you up. Usually.
Good. Okay, so I just want to get your permission, I guess, to have food trucks at the health department for some of our events. Right now, we are having an event in July and one in September. It would be no cost to us as of right now. I just want permission to basically park them here. We have community partners. Some of them are Medicaid entities that do this. They go to certain events and they provide a food truck, and they actually provide a set number of meals or items to the community. But I just want to get your permission before we tell them, yes, please partner with us.
And you do that, it's like a Saturday or?
The events right now, one is on a Wednesday, one's on a Thursday, I believe. It's in the evening.
In the evening,
Mhm.
okay.
Mhm.
Well, the veterans had a car show down there
Yes, they
and they brought in trucks and that, and
Yep.
we approved that, and I mean, I don't.
Minutes of no cost to the county or?
No, not these two that we had planned. If there ever was a cost, like if we wanted to cover the cost, if it's an event, if this helps draw people in, it might be something that is worthy of talking to the council about budgeting for, but the 2 events specifically are covered by a community partner.
Okay. I make a motion, we approve it.
Okay, I'll second that motion.
A motion and a second to approve food trucks for 2 events. One here shortly and one in the
July and
fall, right?
September.
Do I need to come, if we have others in between or after, do I need to come back? Or is it, obviously, if there's a cost associated, I would go to the council, but to actually physically have them here, do I need to come each time?
I would think we'd probably want to just generally approve of your events.
Okay.
Yeah.
That way we're made aware of them and.
Okay.
Well, the community too, with it being live streamed, they'll know too. You know, get
Yeah,
out
and we
to a
put
lot
it,
of
and
people there.
we'll put it on social media and all
Yeah.
that good stuff too, but, I didn't know if I could just get like a permanent pass, if I need to come every time. If I do, that's fine.
Depends how often you intend to have these. So yeah, we'll
I
see.
would say July and September right now are probably gonna be it, but if something changes, I can come back out.
Right.
It's not a
So
problem.
and then if we do, potentially we put a protocol together. If you do an X, Y, and Z, then it's not required.
Okay,
Anything outside of that, but that's something we could look at when the time comes.
okay.
Since we meet twice a month, that should give you enough time to slip it
Yeah.
in.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't have, you can add it to the agenda or
Sure. Okay,
the day
yep.
of the thing.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Mhm. You're welcome.
Next item we have is paying our bills, health insurance claim. It's in the amount of $53,975.03.
Make a motion.
The motion
I'll second that
and
motion.
a second. Any discussions? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Next item is our claim docket for April 1st, 2024 in the amount of $299,083.02. Any discussions? If not,
I'll make a motion to approve.
have a motion,
Second.
second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The next item up is Ride Solution Agreement. And we had that sent to us, and I got a hold of David Aitchen, because what I was concerned with, as I read through that kind of made them the exclusive provider, and I'm thinking we have, like the veterans, they haul, I think Marksman Cab hauls, I think the Council on Agencies haul, and I was a little concerned, signing that document and how it impact the other providers, that we currently, have involvement with. And I asked David, and I believe he told me that this year they did either come for a stipend or a request. I don't,
So I talked to this lady, had called, and I thought that's what she was calling about.
Becky Guthrie.
Yes, and, she said that, they do this agreement every year, and it hadn't been done this year. She said she had been sending it to Teresa's email, which I told her Teresa's email is forwarded to mine. So I should still be getting things. And I asked her if she was gonna come to the meeting. She's like, well, there's really not any reason for me to come. I'll just send an email and explaining this. And then, she did ask about the funding. And I said, well, I said there was no allocation for, you this year because you didn't send a request. And I told her she could put everything in an email like we had on our conversation. She said she was sending it to Teresa, that didn't know if it got lost or whatever. And I was like, well, I get all those emails, but we didn't get it. I said, but that doesn't mean, if you want to, you could go to the council and ask them if they want to appropriate. So she sent me both those emails. She was asked if I gave her both the dates of the council and this meeting here. And she just basically wanted to communicate via email
Did she give you a dollar amount?
for the request for the council. Mm-mm.
I'm thinking David said in the past it was maybe
$6,000 is what we did last year in 2020.
It's kind of like he did the other organizations, that provide those services, but
Yep.
I'm concerned about this grant, signing that, and how it might impact the
Yeah,
others,
sure.
if they're getting funding through grants. We don't want to put a barrier up for them
Mhm.
where they,
Yeah, because she says here that they've added a new component to the grant, so I don't know what that means.
yeah.
It's not very explanatory here.
Well, I mean, if we signed an agreement, is that committing the council have to, you'd almost have to run through the council first if they'd want to fund it, wouldn't it?
Sure.
Well, I think there's two parts here, Randy. I think, first of all, they didn't include them in the budget.
Mhm.
And I think with the council and their money situations, I don't know that they've got the funding available.
Sort of what I mean,
That's-
yes.
That's the first part. Then the other part is if I read the document, I quickly went through it, it's like they become the exclusive provider and they're eligible for grants to subsidize their service.
Hmm.
And my concern is that we may have other local organizations that if we exercise and sign that document, that we take away their ability to seek grants also. And I really don't want to do that.
In the phone call, she acted like this should be a no question because they're the only ones that provide this.
I
So-
don't think so.
That's why I feel it would be better if she would have been here to explain these
Yeah, it
questions.
needs some more explanation.
So
You wanna just table it?
I think so,
Until
until
we
we
get
get
some
some
more.
type of,
Yeah.
I just want to be comfortable before we do something that really causes harm.
Do we want
to
to
the
reach
other
back out to her via email Or do you want me to ask her to come to the next meeting?
I would like for her to come to the meeting,
Okay.
that way if we have any more questions.
And anything, Chris, maybe ask her for the actual grant application, so we can take a look at what it actually involves.
Because of the way it sounds here is that they're getting a grant application for public transportation in each of the counties that they currently serve. So, I don't know how many counties they serve. I don't know if they're getting a grant for each county or I don't know. See, it's just all up and,
Well, and how that impacts the others.
Right.
Also. And that's the.
Yeah.
And again, the council hasn't, I don't think this year funded it, so.
Yeah.
We got a few questions with that.
I'll make a motion to table it, and with that, Chris, do you think you can find one of the older contracts?
Yeah.
If it's,
yeah, I'd like to
Same
see
way.
that, to see how they,
That was.
here it is, April, and they didn't even go before the council or anything. They didn't request anything, it's just
Right.
like,
that would have been last September.
yeah.
So. We have a motion to table the ride solution agreement. Do we have a second?
Second,
All those in favor?
All right,
3-0. The next item up is the additional appropriation for legal services. That's simply, signing a request, if I'm correct,
Mhm.
pay our legal bills, and then it'll go before the, council for funding.
these here.
It's in the amount
These here
of
in the grant.
$19,305.70.
yeah, I've seen that on email, yeah.
And it looks like we're taking it out of the riverboat account.
Yeah, I went ahead and asked, the council at the last meeting where they wanted to take it out of, because then I could go, or where they would want to, because if I would have waited for you guys, then we really wouldn't have it just delay it another month. So, they had stated they wanted to pay that. Last meeting, when we had to do it, last time we had to do an additional preparation for this, they want to pay all of this out of Riverboat. So. That's how it was advertised. I'm assuming that's how they wanted to continue.
Do you have any other discussions, or I'd entertain a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Second,
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor?
All right,
Okay. Next item up is the invoice from Kenny Simpson, which is, I think Engineer Associates is his title. This is for most of the work on the courthouse. And we have that bill, and we agreed to pay it out of what was actually an old edit fund that's out there still. One thing is we have a kind of a modified floor plan, and I talked to Kenny, and I said, I'll ask you tonight whether that meets your approval, and then he'll go ahead and wrap things up so we can put it out for bids. If you guys are okay with the changes, it takes the door to the outside, and we just have to put some type of a mechanism similar to what the schools use to get
This one
people
here?
in. Yep. Yeah, so that way it doesn't impact the courthouse per se, and it still puts them in
doesn't
the
disrupt any of
proximity.
the offices or anything
Yeah,
as far
and
as
then it'll
space.
put them in the proximity of the courts and the jail,
Okay.
and we'll pick up our efficiencies and hopefully save a buck. Process.
yeah, I looked at it today, and looked over it before the meeting, so I'm good with it, so.
So if we're okay with the change, we'll get that going, and if I entertain a motion to pay Kenny for his work.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Do we have a second? All those in favor? Next thing up, Chris is trying to get us to go to a district meeting on June 19th.
I am gonna go, Chris, that's at Santa Claus, right?
The Moser camp, I'm not gonna go to the golfing stuff. I'll just go to
Yeah.
just to Moser's like we did
Yeah, I'm
last
gonna
year.
go.
When do you have to know? I went back last year. It was interesting.
Yeah. It actually didn't have any date or anything. It just, the postcard just was like a save the date. So I just wanted to go ahead and get that out. I'm sure there'll be more information to come, 'cause it's a little bit away.
Yeah, last year I went to that, and I didn't go golfing either. I just went down there and
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna go to Muller's Camp.
Yeah, that's, when I ever went, I just ended up at Muller's Camp. They don't wanna see me golf anyway.
Oh, your wife's back there agreeing with you.
So, we've got a little time on that.
Yep.
So consider it and,
I put
let
it on your
Chris
guys'
know,
calendar, so you'll
Um,
have that.
just so she can let them know, so they get a rough head count on who's gonna attend, so.
I am gonna go look, Chris, and make sure I got it.
Next meeting, we're gonna be out here one more time. Will be Monday, May 6th, 9 AM, back in this room. I know, you all received, I think, from the EMS service about some funding and that, and
Mhm.
we have some challenges there. I know Becky, you're working on trying to get a uniform, animal control ordinance so
Yes.
that each city has their, the same rules, so,
Right, for the entire county.
yeah, however we approach the control officer, that's gonna be another one of these things we've got in our plate. We are in the middle of our solid waste, decisions, and, we got several things that,
It'd be like you said, it's so much easier for law enforcement to be on the same page. So they don't have to stop and say, okay, now which one do I go by? Because actually right now there's 4.
and we need to get
It
it,
is
like,
crazy.
before
There's
we
no
make
reason for
that decision, we need to, reach out to the groups that'll actually be involved to see, exactly how it might function and come together.
It is before, Tell City, Troy, Calton, and us right now.
Okay, good.
And the lawyer has, looked it over and redone it, and it's gonna be sent out, and, if they gets approved, it gets approved. I hope at least 3 of them do.
Right.
I hope all 4 of them do.
And then from there, it takes the law enforcement, puts them on a level
Right.
playing field, so you don't have to question what,
If you're in Tell City or if you're in the county.
Right.
in
okay.
Tell City, we do this, in Calhoun, we
Yeah.
do that, in Troy, we do
Right.
something different, in county. It's just too frustrating, we need to get them.
As far as fines and citations and what have you, it'll all be the same. It
Yeah.
should be anyway. I don't understand why.
It just happened. So, other than that, anybody got any other comments? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion.
I'll second that
We
motion.
have a motion and a second, all those in favor? Thank you, and good evening.
That's how you pull that.